good. Okay. So at the start of this, I'm going to do a backhand demonstration. So I just need to feed me nice, easy balls that I can backhand back to you. Well, you can, but everybody, come on in, please. Come on in. So today's clinic is about hitting backhands properly. Watching you guys warm up, watching some of you hit backhands, the thing that I notice is the thing that I stress all the time on the backhand, which is you can't let the ball get too close to you. If I'm hitting a forehand, my shoulder is on this side of my body. If I'm hitting a backhand, my shoulder is on this side of my body. So there is that much difference between those two strokes. And where the ball hits the ground, on my forehand side, if the ball hits here, if that's the ideal spot for me to hit my forehand, my shoulder needs to be exactly that far apart on the backhand, which means I have to be that far away from the ball. Right? See the difference? Even further, if I want to get a good low backhand, right? If you're too close to where the ball bounces, it pops. Yes. Yeah. So if you're hitting a straight on, like when we're dinking, it's absolutely fine to hit backhands this way, or we're volleying. It's fine to hit backhands this way, but you're not going to be able to hit a powerful backhand stroke from the white line or back. From here, you're going to have to turn sideways. So we're going to work on hitting backhands today. I'm going to show you what we're trying to get to first with Glenn. Glenn and I are going to get a little demonstration, get everybody in here. Can you go to that side of the net for me, please? Yep.
Because if you do it wrong, you hurt your shoulder, right? And so I hurt my shoulder in the spring. My friend was like, hey, put it back in. And sure enough, as soon as I started working on hitting it correctly, my shoulder got better. So this is actually probably one of the most important clinics that I've done for our family.
Awesome. Good. Good feedback. Thank you. Okay, so Glenn, just feed me balls down the black line here. See how far back I am from the ball. Oh, Glenn, a little friendlier. There we go. Oh. All right, good. So you see how far back I was from the bounce? If the ball's landing in my feet, I have absolutely no hope of hitting a backhand, right? So I've got to stay away from the ball. So that's what we're trying to get to. But we're going to get there in stages today. We're actually going to start here at the blue line. Okay, we're just going to dink back and forth. No, backhand to backhand. Right? This way it gives me an opportunity to work on your grip. Then we're going to back up a little bit further, so the point where we have to turn a little bit on our backhands. Right? This will be our second progression. And then our final progression will be back here somewhere. Just right about, you can stay up at the net, Glenn. Or actually, no, go back there. Yeah. Our last progression, we'll just try and do something like this. Notice I'm not hitting the balls at 100 miles an hour. Just nice, easy pace. We're just trying to maintain control. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Any questions about the progression that we're going to be doing or the topics that we're going to be covering? No? Okay. We're going to start with a backhand warm-up drill just so I can come around and check out everybody's grip. And it's going to look like this. You ready, Glenn? Just going to be dinking straight ahead. Just like that. That's all we're doing right now. So grab a partner. Okay, or continue with your current partner. All right, pause for a second. Nancy, I'm going to replace you for a second. Everybody come into the sideline here. You guys can stay there. Okay, so Rochelle and I are going to cooperatively work back and forth. I have to teach you now how to feed in a constructive way so that you can help lift your partner up and your partner can help lift you up. Our objective here is to set each other up for success. So I'm going to be feeding to the blue line, not past. If I feed past the blue line, it's going to force Rochelle to back up. I don't want her to have to back up. I want her to be able to just get all of her energy moving forward, okay? So we're going to work on that. If I miss the line, I'm going to try and miss short. And same with Rochelle. If she misses the line, she's going to try and miss short. Right? This way we're setting each other up for success, okay? And notice, if I know Rochelle's aiming for the blue line, look how far back from the blue line I am, right? You could probably back up a little bit too, Rochelle. There we go. That way, if I do miss by a little bit, even if I'm way back here, if she's aiming for the line, I can still step in and hit my backhand shot. Turn a little bit sideways. Oops, I went way past the blue line, sorry. Michelle's going to try not to go past the blue line. That's awesome. Does everybody see that? How I can be back, and as long as we're feeding our partner in a cooperative way, trying to stay around that blue line, it's going to be easy for our partner to work on our backhand. Okay, we are going to be rotating frequently. Yuchi's in the anchor spot, so Yuchi's going to be our anchor again today. Everybody's going to rotate around Yuchi. Okay? That's what you get for being here. You're our anchor every time. I got it. Okay, pause for a second. Second feeding thing that I need to teach you is what to do when you lose control. You and I are going to do a demo, Nancy. Okay? So Nancy and I are doing our drill. I'm setting her up for success. She's setting me up for success. Every once in a while we get a ball that kind of goes wild. We don't want to be practicing bad habits. So when a ball goes a little bit wild or it catches you off balance or on the wrong foot, just catch it, reset, start over, because we want to be practicing good habits, not bad habits for now. So we're going to keep it nice and gentle. And if it loses control, we're going to catch it, come back, and reset. Okay? I don't want people chasing wild balls. Okay, here we go. There you got one.
How are we supposed to be? Are we hitting this way or are we supposed to be?
I'll deal with that in a minute. Yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah, absolutely. All right, much better. Pause for a second. Rochelle, you and I are going to do another demo. Okay, so let's talk about our contact. I am very gently hitting this ball. It's like it's an eggshell, and I'm trying not to break the egg. Right? Sometimes my racket head is straight down. Sometimes it's at a bit of an angle. Sometimes, like there, it was parallel to the ground. So Glenn's question was, how am I supposed to be hitting the ball? Is it like this? Is it like this? Is it like this? And the answer is all of those, right? So the lower the ball is to the ground, the closer it is to the ground, the less you want to pop it up. So the more horizontal the paddle is going to be to the ground. But if I'm trying to lift it, then I need a paddle angle that's going to help lift it more, right? But if I'm reaching out here and I want to put it down the line, it's going to be more horizontal to the ground again. So always keep in mind that you want to have a paddle position that you're not fighting with, right? So just don't overthink the paddle position, just something that feels natural, something you're not fighting with. The only exception to this is going to be these how to stop balls from popping up balls, the really, really low ones that we do on dinks. I have a whole separate class for that one. But if you're fighting to keep your paddle horizontal to the ground on every dink, stop. Just relax. Do what feels natural. Because your paddle is going to do different things and be in different positions depending on when you receive the ball. Does that make sense? Okay. So do what feels natural. Now, I want to go back to what I started with, which was our contact. So some of you are slapping the ball or poking the ball or punching the ball. We're not doing that. We're gliding through the ball. So it should be a nice, easy contact. Effortless contact. Right? Nice and easy. You see that? Okay? So you shouldn't be hitting and stopping. You should be hitting through. Let's do it one more time. So I make contact and the racket just follows through. I'm not stopping like that. Okay? So let's work on our nice smooth contact. We're going to rotate around Yuchi one position. So Yuchi, stay where you are. Glenn, you're going to be here. Alana's coming around. Everybody's rotating one position. Here you go, Rochelle. Oops, sorry. That was way offline. Very good smooth contact, Glenn. I know you'll get it. Your poker? Well, we're going to get that out of your system. Gentle. Gentle. There you go. All right. I want you to imagine that the ball is your pet, and you're not hurting it. You're not hurting your pet.
I'm not snapping.
Don't hurt
I'm
it.
Gently
Yeah, just lift it and
guiding
give it
it.
a little push. Okay? I know you can. Pause for a second. Okay. You've improved a lot, but I know you can be even gentler. I'm just going to get you right here. Okay? Ready, Yuchi? Just you and I are going to do this. So start further away. Little longer stroke. All right, a little bit longer. I don't want to bring the racket behind my body, but I do want to maximize the stroke. Right? Nice and gentle. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're letting the ball get too close to you, which is causing you to explode into the ball. So just a nice, think of it as gliding or petting. Very good, Alana. Nice, Margaret. Very gentle. Very gentle. Yep, yep.
When you're saying gentle, it's more like you follow it too much.
Yeah, I'm going to show you. Everybody come in for 1 second. Okay. So, wrapping your mind around how to stroke the ball is not easy, right? Because most people are used to violent contact. I want you to think about how you would pet your cat, right? How does your cat like to be pet, right? I want you to think about that motion and how gentle and soothing that is for your cat, right? Your cat, you're not a cat person, you don't know. Are dogs the same way? Not really? No. Anyway, just think of it that way. It's long and it's smooth and it's gentle, and think of the ball as your pet, not as your enemy, right? You're not trying to knock the shit out of it. You're trying to befriend it so it will do what you want it to do, right? So I want you to think about that. Let's spend just a couple more minutes really trying to make that stroke smooth and gentle and non-confrontational and non-violent. And
Can I get ahead of it again, maybe with another question?
Yep.
Tell me if I'm too early.
Yep.
The grip.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
going between this and I know
Yep.
you said that and I'm
Yeah.
going what?
So if I hold the grip like this, push down on the paddle. Just push that, no, down, straight down. Yeah, yeah. It's very, very stiff, right?
Yeah.
But if I do this, what happens? Feel how much softer that is? Yeah. So if I'm rallying, you want to rally a little bit, Joan? If I'm rallying and I'm holding the paddle up here and my finger's on the back of the paddle and I have a short grip, it's going to be violent. It's going to be hard to be soft, right? But if I drop my grip down here, my whole paddle is just looser. My whole paddle is more relaxed. There's less tension in the paddle head, so I can have a softer, smoother stroke. At the same time, when I want to hit something more powerful, I have more whip, right? So just like I taught you in beginner lessons, slide your hand down to here. I almost have, well, this, I actually have this finger off the bottom of the racket most of the time because I can control this shot with 3 fingers. I don't need all 4 on there. Think about adjusting your grip, lengthening your grip, and softening your racket head so it's not so brittle. Okay? You're not so rigid. Okay? Sorry? Backswing, yes. Well, there shouldn't be any backswing. It should be just forward. Right? You don't need any backswing. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just a push. Yeah, you don't need to have that finger up there. It's, in fact, if you do, you're going to end up with tennis elbow because that muscle's going to be overengaged. Okay? Remember, stay back from the ball and relax your grip. Very good. Very smooth stroke. Oh, Laura, you've come a long way. That's awesome. Very nice, Nancy. Very nice, Nancy. Good. All right. Come on in. Okay, so we've gone through all of the, I'm going to come over to this side. Stay there, Glenn. We've gone through the contact. Contact is extremely important for control. If you're hitting the ball too violently, you're never going to have the kind of control that you need, right? You're not going to be able to dink well. You're not going to be able to drive well. You're not going to be able to serve well. You're not going to be able to volley well. The key is the right amount of force, right? The proper application of force. If you're overly forceful, you're going to have trouble controlling the ball. Okay, now let's talk about receiving the ball. One of the most important things that you're ever going to learn in pickleball is where the ball is bouncing, right? You have to position yourself correctly to where the bounce is going to be. On the backhand, you can almost not be back too far. See this red line? Or actually, blue line. We'll just do the blue line. I want you to land all the balls on the blue line, okay? On the blue line? Awesome. Just aim for the blue line, not for me. No, blue line. Just aim for the blue line, guys. Oops. There we go. Ready? Try again. So just aim for the blue line because I'm going to be way back from the blue line. Okay? Look how far back I am from the blue line. Man, you're overshooting the blue line, buddy. Just the blue line. There we go. Awesome. There. My point is, I can be way back here for a ball that's bouncing on the blue line and still have a good backhand. But if I'm on top of the blue line and he's hitting the blue line, I'm in trouble because I'm really going to be popping that ball up because I have to make a really short stroke and really violent contact with the ball, right? So I want you to experiment for the next, we're going to go for 2 or 3 minutes. I want you to experiment with being as far back from the blue line as you can force yourself to be. I want, sorry? Both people, yeah. You're still going to be aiming for the blue line. Right? The blue line, Glenn. The blue line. Blue or green, yeah, either one. Between the blue and the green, somewhere there. In between is perfect, yeah? Exactly in between. Okay, so I want you to experiment with being as far back from the ball as you can. I want you to gain confidence. I want you to recognize that on a backhand, you can be a long way back from the ball, and you're still going to have control. Okay, there you go. Back to where you were. We're going to rotate. Let's do it now. Let's you Chi stay there. Everybody rotate one position. Okay. Back, back, back. Good. We're hitting backhands.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Okay. Pause for a second. We're hitting backhands. So I want you to turn. Yeah, backhand, backhand. We're hitting backhands, right? So you need to turn. So there we go. So that your backhand is towards the ball. Everybody pause for a second. Okay, Alana, let's try and demonstrate this. Something I failed to mention, and now everybody's confused, is we're hitting backhands from further back, so we need to turn our backhand toward the ball now. So go ahead and feed me. Blue line. No, just feed to the blue line. Yeah. So notice how I'm turned sideways. So I'm turned sideways to the ball. My backhand is towards the ball. The further back we get, the more sideways we have to get. All right? Sorry for not explaining that. There you go. Why don't you two slide down to that court? Come on over here, guys. All right. Come on over here. Let's try it on this court. There you go. Do it on this court right here. So you're probably a little too far back, Nancy. Right, back there is probably a little too far, but straddling the white line here should be fairly easily. Okay? What was your question, Laura? Did you have a question?
I'm trying to go sideways. I'm
Yeah.
just talking to myself.
Yeah, good, good. Okay, everybody pause. Let's go grab a drink, and then we're going to come back in and we're going to work on something new.
Yes, Brett. I don't know if I told you. It's my shoulder.
Did I?
My shoulder was so bad for
Awesome.
so long, and then you made that comment. It wasn't even the backhand clinic, it was a different clinic, and you're like, you're hitting the wrong point. And you're like, you're going to injure your shoulder. And I'm like, I have injured my shoulder. It's so bad.
Yeah.
And then I really focused on that, and it's better.
Good.
Completely attribute that one to you.
Awesome. I have superpowers.
You sure do. So what was she saying about shoulders before? I was saying behind and feel.
What was Rochelle saying about shoulders?
Yeah.
If your backhand technique is good, you'll have a healthier shoulder. Because if your backhand technique is bad, you can badly injure your shoulder. So that's a very good point.
So just take a grip on there. I started on the mat.
Yeah? Okay, well, it'll come. Where are you going, Yuchi? We're going to have a little meeting out here first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there's 8 in there. Okay, it's a little hard to hear in there.
You can definitely hurt yourself with pickleball, which is why it's so important to take lessons.
Yep.
You learn how to do things properly.
Yeah, so I've been doing pickleball for 20 years, and initially when pickleball first kind of came into Canada and started to become popular, all the seniors were telling each other, oh, you should come and play pickleball, you can't get hurt.
Oh yeah, they can't get hurt until all those ex-tennis player rejects
Yeah.
get into the game.
Hey, we're not all rejects. Thank you. Okay, Richard here right now. But the other way you can injure yourself and always just let everybody you play with are not wearing glasses. Yeah. Because there have been people in Calgary who've lost
And seriously, she told me about this, and I wasn't wearing glasses. The next game, I put my glasses on and got all bright in the eye. My glasses on.
Yeah, and you had it right there.
I've already had my glasses broken once this year by getting hit in the face. Thanks, Lloyd. Okay, so we backed up, and what happened?
Kind of went to hell.
Yeah, it kind of went to hell, exactly. Yeah, so when you back up, you have to take a longer swing and you have to apply more force. So it became harder for you guys to control the ball, right? So my method of teaching backhand is take a group, back them up until they start to fail, right? Which we achieved there, okay? And then we bring you in a little bit closer so you can start to have a little more success. It's called finding your range, right? So if Rochelle and I are working on, let's say we're working on my backhand, we're going to start at a distance where we're having some success, and we're going to back up. We're going to back up till we start to fail more than half of the time, and then we know that we're past our success range, and then we're going to move back in a little bit closer to a point where we're starting to have about 80% success rate, right? And that's how you're going to work on your backhand. Right? You're going to back up until you start to fail, and then just bring it a little bit closer. Over time, you're going to be able to lengthen that and get it further and further apart. But there's literally no point in going out baseline to baseline and trying to struggle backhand to backhand if you have no control, if you're failing over and over and over again. So just bring it in. And we're gonna go back in there now, and we're going to start a little bit closer. Okay? But I did want everybody to understand that you can be quite far back from the ball and still hit a backhand. Okay? That was my central point there, even though it kind of went to hell. Yep. Two-handed backhand. I do that in a different lesson because it's very different. Most of the shots that you're hitting at the level that you're playing right now, you don't need a two-handed backhand unless you're Susan Cull's size, right? She weighs like 12 pounds, right? She's like 4 feet tall. Right, so she really needs a two-handed backhand, but
No, she doesn't. She just loves everything.
yeah, it's true. She's become a lobber this summer. Yeah, exactly. There is a two-handed backhand class. I'm not going to cover that content today because I mostly want to get you just using a one-handed backhand today.
So do you need a two-handed backhand when you hit that 3.5, 3.7 range?
It depends on who you're playing with, but yes, generally it depends on who you are. Like if you have some body weight and some upper body strength, you're not going to need it at 3.5. But if you're tiny, what's that? Yeah, it would be helpful against Kyle. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go in the room and work on our backhand control. What's that? Yeah, not yet. I'm going to do a demonstration. Glenn, I'm going to borrow Glenn. Where's Glenn? Glenn, I'm going to borrow you for a second. You're going to come and be my demo partner. Okay, you see where the red line is? The red line? I have to imagine that it extends all the way through this court. You see your red line, Glenn? Yeah. We're going to turn sideways so that we have 1 foot on backhand towards me, on 1 foot on either side of the red line. Okay? I'm going to toss the ball out here where I have to reach for it. And we're going to start here, just trying to control it. Now, if Glenn's hitting the ball into my feet, sorry about that, Glenn. If Glenn's hitting the ball into my feet, we're not going to have very much luck, right? But if I'm aiming for the blue line, and if Glenn's aiming for the blue line, right, we should be able to have a rally. Sorry, Glenn. Oh! All right, try again. Aim for the blue line. I'll aim for the blue line. All right, a little too much. All right, so we can start to have a rally here as long as we're not overshooting the blue line too much. Okay, let's go back to the spot we were. We're going to do this for about 10 minutes, and we're going to do frequent rotations about every 2 or 3 minutes. So see the red line, Joan? I want you to stand with one foot on either side of the red line, so you're actually sideways to the shot. There you go. Sideways, that's good. Good. There you go. So try not to overshoot the blue line. Yeah, that's good. Try not to overshoot the blue line. If you give her a ball with a little more lob on it, yeah, it'll be a little slower and she'll be able to control it better. There we go. Okay, let's rotate around Yuchi. Let's rotate around Yuchi. You're right here, Laura. You're going to slide down there, Jane. You're going to be with Rochelle now. Okay, you're going to be right here, Margaret. So, where's the red line, Joan? Where's the red line, Rochelle? Sideways. They're going to have to back up, right? Back up, back up, back up. There we go. Blue line to blue line. So Yuchi, if you hit it past the blue line, she's gonna struggle. So try and keep it. Okay. Yep. Very good. So when he hits the ball towards you, you have to try and guess where it's going to land, and then you have to try to be back from where you think it's going to land. There you go, Nancy. Oops, I'm sorry. Want to turn a little bit sideways, Margaret. So see the red line here? You want to stand with one foot on either side of the red line. Turn sideways, 1 foot on either side of the red line. See the red line? There you go. It's going over now. Very good. A little more loft and a little less forward, just to give her something that sits up nice and easy for her. Very good, Joan. We're getting there. We just got to get you a little more sideways.
More sideways.
More sideways. Oops. Okay, pause for a second. Come on in. Laura and I are going to do a little demonstration. Thank you, Yuchi. Laura and I are going to do a little demonstration. Okay? So the ball that I give to Laura is going to be high and gentle so that she can get under it. Right? Oops. Ready, Laura? And she's going to give me a high, gentle ball. This will take a minute. We'll get it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to give her a ball that sits up a little so that she has a chance to return it. Right, so I'm not driving it at her. There's not a lot of pace on it. It's got a nice arc to it. It's sitting up so she can get underneath it. Right. Oh! All right. Yeah, but this is feeding now. We're not working on that. We're working on feeding now. So we want a friendly ball that our partner can gently hit back to us so that we can sustain a rally so we can get some control. I appreciate your point, but it's different task. Yeah, so you should be straddling the red line ideally. If you have to move to go get it, but just return. No, this group can't control any further back than this right now. So, okay, let's go back to where we were. We're going to do another rotation in a minute or two. No, not yet. Soon. Catch it. All right. So you're hitting it just about 2 feet, 2.5 feet too far. So just take some pace off, slow it down. But you're getting much better. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it's good. Okay, let's rotate one position around Yuchi.
Sorry, I didn't make run that much.
So when you and I were trying to rally together and you kept hitting the ball that way, because you're letting the ball get too close to you, take it further out front. Really test yourself, push yourself to learn where the limit of your range is. Take it out front. Sorry? No, when we were lined up this way, you kept putting it over there. Yeah. Okay. Okay, whoa, you're way too far back. Red line. So, see the red line? I want you straddling the red line. There we are. Now, yeah, hang on, back up. So there you go. Now you guys have a zone in between you where you can rally. Yeah, very good. Nice. Aha, that one should have been a forehand. That one should have been a forehand. If they're going on that side of your butt. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.